Hi, Alan. Good morning. How are you?
I'm all well, Dolores.
Good, good, good. So today I thought we'd talk about the household benefit package. So as you know, legislation changed for this in 2021. So could you just talk us through the household benefit package as it is now?
Sure. So the household benefit package is €35 credit off either your gas or electricity. And those in receipt of household benefit package also get a free TV license. So most parents who have carers allowance would automatically get this credit. So it's kind of deposited either off their bill or as they get a credit or to get a kind of like a bank transfer, €35 a month into their account. So that's kind of automatic. So just check if you have carers allowance, you should be getting it. If not, just fill in the form and send it off. Now, here's where the legislation did change, is now people on disability allowance are entitled to the household benefit package if nobody in the house is claiming it. So that all changed. So previously it was kind of means tested, it would not work. But now any young person on disability allowance, irrespective of what the parent's income is, either they can claim it or the parent and carers allowance can now claim the household benefit package.
Okay, so could you actually talk us through filling in that application form? Because I know a lot of people have a few questions around it, Alan, please.
Yeah, so I'll put it up on screen. I actually think it might be the easiest thing to do. Now, the key part for parents to realize is when they're completing this, maybe on behalf of their child, some parents will have to do it that way, is that it's your child's details that are going on at member. So if you're doing it on carers allowance, it's your details, but I think most parents now who's going to be looking at this, it'll be their child getting awarded. So it's your child's PPS number, which is so important. You see there in part one, that's will register them when they put that through, they'll see that they have the disability allowance, so therefore this is why it'll get awarded. So your child's name, personal details, dates of birth, their home address, telephone number, if applicable, maybe not, or an email address. And again, there, if your child can sign the form, fantastic. If not, maybe just put an X in that box and date it. So that's kind of part one. It's your child's details. Now, kind of move down here. So this part is where most people, answer these questions. 12, 13, are you living? Of course, you have to be living in the state. Your children probably be under age 90, of course, living alone. You say no. Okay, now this is important. Parents often think, oh, and they'll stop at this point. You do actually put in the parents' names here, the parents' PPS number, relation, obviously mom, dad. And then it'll ask gross pay if employed. You can put down your gross pay if you want, or you can just put it on applicable. It's actually awarded again because of the disability allowance. And again, you'll find a lot of the answers here, like, is your child getting a pension? Obviously, no. And then I suppose the next thing I want you to become aware of is part two. So here's your options on the left-hand side. You need to choose one of these. So either your gas or electricity. So most people tend to choose electricity, and also tick the TV license. So that'll also give the household a free TV license as well. Now, again, you'll see here the MPRN number. You'll check your utility bill. You'll see that on there. Now, the other thing that gets a little bit tricky, I'm going to come down the form a little bit. So again, you don't need to fill in the gas electric unless you're taking the gas side of it. Obviously, put in your TV license. It's funny enough, I showed this to a lady the other day, and they're going to claim it, but they haven't got a TV license. And she was asking me, how do I get around this? I was like, I don't know. Not really my answer to that question.
It sounds like an ad there on RT for your TV.
I know, but she was like, she obviously never paid her TV license, and then she was asking me, how do I claim a free? I'm like, I'm not too sure how do you go about that. But anyway, that's her difficulty. Here's a thing as well. Now, if you want the credit to come off the bill, your child will have to be on the bill. Now, that can be quite tricky, particularly if your child is only like under the age of 21, because some actually suppliers will require your child to be over the age of 21. But you can still get the credit awarded to their bank account. So here you put in the special needs bank account details, and then the €35 will get credited towards there. I would encourage parents to put their child on the bill at some stage going forward, just for kind of paper trail reasons. No harm to have them when they're living in the house, have them on the bill. So in 10 years' time, if somebody came back, as I said, they'd be on the bill, and obviously it would make that much smoother. So that's the form. As I said, the first part, again, was all your child's details. Second part was very much claiming the gas or electricity and putting in the TV license information. And the third part then, as I said, getting accredited to their special needs bank account at the end. And there you have the address, contact details to send it all off to as well, or if you had other questions for them.
Okay, that's good, Alan. Now, on the rare occasion, if somebody doesn't use, say, that amount of units or that, how does that work then?
You can keep your credits going forward. So you can keep kind of building her up. Actually, interesting, I was on talk to my dad the other day now, and like that, he's not using a lot of his credits, you know, this kind of way. So again, it would go forward on that side of it.
And what about if people use too much? Say, for instance, I have electronic wheelchair there, say charging up now, and that would be charging up as well every night. But that's only minute compared to what other people would have. They would have, you know, breathing apparatus. They would have other machines for their children that are vitally needed. How does that work then? Do they get extra for that, Alan, or?
Unfortunately, they don't. They're not even recognized. And again, if their child doesn't qualify for it, you know, again, there is no credit. So unfortunately, as you said there, the acknowledgement of the extra kind of cost borne by parents who have kids with additional needs isn't kind of recognized. The 35 euros is there for lots of parents, but not all even. So unfortunately, no.
Okay, so I had a question come in from one of our families. It said, can my child who is in receipt of domiciliary care allowance be granted the household benefit package?
Okay, I seem to be the bearer of bad news, Dolores. No, they can't.
Okay.
Any child under 16 doesn't qualify. It's only when they turn 16 or over and they're on disability allowance, or if the parent is on carers allowance, of course, the parent can claim it. But they're the only two kind of scenarios, you know, where parents can kind of claim that. And
for parents, then can they get the fuel allowance, Alan, and the household benefit package together?
Yeah, no, just be careful. A fuel allowance is a means tested one, so it's separate. Okay, so you have to qualify that one under means. As the household benefit package now, it's not means tested. Remember, I'm saying they're not going to ask what parents' income or make a decision. So you can have both together, but you would actually need to qualify for both separately. So the fuel allowance is that another payment during winter to help for the fuel costs. Again, so parents can kind of qualify for that if they can pass the means test, so they can get fuel allowance. They can also keep getting the household benefit package, and one doesn't affect the other. You can have both if you qualify for both.
And in the fuel allowance there, Alan, is that under the child's name as well?
Generally, no. What you find the fuel allowance is more the parents. The parents will have to qualify for that because that's a means tested one in the family household. So that'd be very much the parents.
And just the last question there, where can people get that household benefit package form from?
Yeah, so if you go to gov.ie, you'll be able to download a form there. You know, and again, if you want the social welfare, you can kind of do it online as well. So either or. And as I said, you saw that form there, and you've all the details at the end of the form. And of course, obviously, parents can send emails to ourselves. We can send them on the forms if they don't have access to it.
Thank you so much, Alan. I think that's great information there for us, and we'll be starting all those forms. Thank you.
Thanks, Dolores. Bye for now.